A developing story this evening then. We've mentioned this a couple of times, but let's try and get you up to date with the major search operation. It's underway off the Egyptian coast. That's after a tourist boat went down in the Red Sea. Authorities are searching for 16 or so people who are still missing, while 28 people have been rescued. It's being reported that 4 Brits were on board, 2 have been rescued, and it's understood 2 are still missing. Let's speak to Mohamed Khairat, who is a founder and editor-in-chief of the website Egyptian Streets. Mohamed, thanks for being with us.
No, thank you for having me.
Just bring us up to date with what we know so far. We have at least 17 people still missing. That is what reporting's saying here. What are local reports telling you?
Yep, so the latest figures are 28 people have been rescued and 16 people remain missing. Earlier it was reported it was 17, but it's actually 16. Of those 16, 4 are Egyptian and 12 are foreign nationals, including British nationals, German, American, Polish, and others. The Egyptian government hasn't specified what the other nationalities are, but this is a statement coming from the Red Sea Governorate, which is the one that's responsible for the area. The boat, as you may have already reported, reportedly capsized around 5:30 a.m. in the morning. Now, the latest statement that came from the Red Sea Governorate said that preliminary investigation suggests that it capsized in just 5 to 7 minutes after being struck by what they've described as a large wave. Now, meteorological reports have suggested that the weather conditions were not ideal at the time that the boat was out there, so this does seem to match up with those reports. However, these are still preliminary.
Yeah, okay, so a large wave looks to have capsized the boat.
Yeah, and unfortunately, according to the Red Sea Governorate, it seems that because of the time at which it happened, there were people possibly trapped in their cabins when this wave struck and the boat capsized. This 5 to 7 minutes is quite a quick.
Yes, it is.
Time.
And there'll be plenty of questions in the fullness of time, I'm sure, Mohamed, about whether all the appropriate actions were taken, really, in terms of, trying to get people out of cabins. Did all warnings, sound off? Just tell us a little bit about the boat. If our listeners are trying to understand more about this specific boat and sort of its purpose, really, it was a tourist boat. What else do we know about it?
Yeah, so it's a pretty large boat. I mean, there were 44 people on it, 34 meters long. It was anchored about 40 or 46 nautical miles off the coast of Marsa Alam. Diving boat, so most of the passengers on there, including crew members, would be, experienced divers or at least know how to swim. The boat, according to the Red Sea Governorate, was recently, checked from a safety perspective a few months ago in March 2024 and had been certified with no technical defects. So, preliminary reports suggest that the boat itself was in good condition. But again, these are all, as you mentioned, still early days, and it remains to be seen exactly, what could have gone wrong. This boat specifically was on a longer trip, so it's not like a day trip or an overnight trip. It was about a 4 to 5 day diving trip that departs from one port in Egypt and returns to another.
Well, look, thank you for explaining what we know so far. Look, there are still 16 people missing, including, we understand it from reporting this end, 2 of them are British. 2 Brits have been rescued so far, 2 still missing. Thank you for being with us, Mohamed Khairat, who is founder and editor-in-chief of the website Egyptian Streets. Thank you.